Okay. Can you guys hear me? Can you hear me okay? I need the chat. I need the chat right now. I need the chat. Where is my chat? No voice. Can you hear me at all? I'm just using it. You can't. No sound. No sound. I need the chat. Or am I good? I don't even know what's happening right now. I have like, why is there explode? Why is there fireworks going off? What is happening? What is even going on? I don't even know what's going on anymore. Oh my gosh. I don't know what camera to use. I was trying to use my phone camera so it would look better instead of using this one, but I guess I might just use this one. Let me just is it, but am I loud enough? I'm good? Okay, okay. Someone said, please, Jesus, you're on drugs. No, I was on a 13-hour flight, guys. I was on a 13-hour flight. So, yeah, if I seem a little freaking crazy, it's because I flew across the damn world. That's why. But welcome back to the channel, guys. So, we had a pretty awesome day today. I think it went really well. It was we didn't have like a super like detailed plan. We knew this conference was going to be a little smaller than the others. It's the first time it was in Abu Dhabi for Bitcoin MENA, and so they're just probably testing it out. Obviously, Nashville was huge. A couple times it's been in Miami, it's been huge. But that is one of the reasons why we came here was to obviously meet all the awesome people that we've been working with the Moon Show. Meeting Carl in person and all these amazing people. And so it's really cool. It's been really awesome. And so we were just trying to network and get people's numbers and all that stuff. But conferences are interesting because you think you're gonna go there with the plan and then do all these things, and it ends up like nothing actually goes the way you want it to go. These conferences are so strange because sometimes it's just the energy and just like the momentum and all the people that end up you talk to. And so even if you can just get like one thing that you plan to do done, then that's that I would consider that a success. So we did try and go live on the Moon Show, but the equipment was kind of being weird, and the internet connection was not too great. But I think tomorrow we will definitely have, I think, a better setup. So look out for the Moon Show tomorrow. If you're in the States, it'll be coming on about probably like 8 or 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So look out for that. And then also we're going to be doing some live streaming, and we're going to try and get as much video content out as we can. Yeah, the past 2 days has been a little weird because I'm coming off some jet lag, so I'm obviously feeling a little strange. But I think ultimately we're feeling still super bullish, and we're going to show you guys some of the charts here. We're going to show you some of the trades. We're going to go through some of the news. I think one of the breaking news is that Michael Saylor bought another $2.1 billion. Billion, not million, billion. And so Michael Saylor, a lot of people have been giving him a bad rap recently, especially the people that I think are personally jealous that he's been able to beat the system. Because I think more so than anyone right now, more so than anyone right now, sorry, camera just went off. But yeah, more so than anyone right now, I think he can explain how this financial system is set up for you to fail. It's set up for you to be a pawn in a siphon where they use you for their benefit. And so what Michael Saylor figured out was that there's no way you're going to beat the system by participating in the way that they want you to participate in it. Because what they want you to do is get into debt, pay the interest, all that stuff. They want to basically suck you dry. And it doesn't matter how hard you work. It doesn't matter how big of a company you have. Ultimately, if you're not investing or you're not having an investment strategy to protect your capital and protect your business and your growth because of the nature of what the fiat currency and the Federal Reserve has been doing, your money is going to be devalued by 30% or more every single year. So if you are not investing in something like Bitcoin, volume very low. All right, let's switch up the camera. Let me switch this shit up. Is that better? Oh, that sounds so much better. Okay, let me get this camera off then. Let me get this. Holy moly. Okay. All right, there we go. Is that better? I think that's better. I think that's better. Is that better, guys? Sorry, I'm literally like running when I do mobile streams, I'm using this dinosaur MacBook Air, and it's sometimes a little rough. So bear with me, guys. Bear with me. But yeah, so point I was trying to make is with Michael Saylor actually figuring out that you need to be able to use the debt and use the fiat to then put it into something like Bitcoin. I know we don't get the option to get 0% interest on $1 billion loan. I know. So it's all relative though, because yes, he's able to do that, but we are able to buy Bitcoin. We're able to buy and hold Bitcoin. So if you were to take that same type of strategy in your own portfolio or in your own life, then you will be able to beat the system, or you'll be able to use it to your advantage. So I think what I've been seeing is the sentiment around these people that view Michael Saylor as a cult leader that is only the only one that is propping up Bitcoin, which I think is hilarious. I think it's hilarious that they are trying to attack him in that way. I think they're mad at the fact that they didn't think of it sooner and that they could have been doing it for the past 4 years and they chose not to. They chose to keep beating the rhetoric of it's a scam, it's going to inflate, it's blah 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 blah, you name it. It's always like, oh, the elites are controlling it, this and that, and it's just like, but what else are you going to use? You're going to obviously be using this cash, this USD, for basic things. You know, you're using the system, you're using the fiat. So when you go down the line, you start to think about Bitcoin. We could technically use Bitcoin as a full store of value, as a treasury. And the normal person is not thinking about it in that way because they're like, oh, it's a CZ. Perfect example. CZ today said that people still view Bitcoin as a investment, as like an investment. And he's like, what people don't realize is that it will eventually be the settlement money layer for the world, because it's a open source peer-to-peer cash system that is on the basis of how it's proof of work of how you mine gold in the real world. It takes work to be able to get that gold. It's the same with Bitcoin. And think about how gold for centuries was a medium of exchange and a means for people to be able to trade. But obviously, as we've grown into where we're at now in terms of our financial system, Bitcoin is essentially the digital gold of where we could transact peer-to-peer, cross borders, doesn't matter, and it's immutable, it's verifiable, it is the strongest network backed by the miners, and if anything, there's less manipulation and corruption in the Bitcoin network than there is in the fiat financial system. So these people that keep bashing Bitcoin and saying eventually it's going to go to zero, and you have to say, what the hell else are you going to go into? Literally, what else are you going to then off ramp into? What do you get? What? Okay, we got stable coins, of course, but how stable are they? How stable are these stable coins sometimes? I mean, we saw USDT or USTD, Terra's stable coin, go to freaking zero. So it's funny that every cycle, every 4-year cycle, we've seen a parabolic move to the upside. And so if you just zoom out and you just cut the noise, cut the fat of all these people still wanting to hang on to the fiat system and say, oh, bro, it's going to zero. It's like, have you looked at the value of the dollar recently? That shit's at zero too. It's at zero. Like, it's basically at zero. So you have to think about it that way. And the reason why Michael Saylor started to pivot into Bitcoin is because he's like, look, if I don't, I'm toast. So you have to think about it that way in your own financial life. If you don't start adopting some type of strategy that gets your cash up, you're toast. You're done. There's no getting ahead. Every single year that goes by that you don't have a plan or a strategy, you're toast. It's just a fact. You see how long it takes for you to get out of something. If you've dug a hole, the system will keep digging that damn hole, and you will get deeper and deeper and deeper into that hole. So you have to think about it as a settlement layer. You have to think about it as the settlement layer for basically all the fiat cash that all these governments are going to keep printing. It's going to go into something. It's going to go into something. Obviously, it's been somewhat of gold. You know, gold has been breaking out, but at a point where people realize the gold, when you're investing in the gold, you're wanting a return or a stable return and store of value through a time. But at a point, you're going to want to sell it or, quote, use it, or you're going to want to do something with it. And good luck trying to do anything with $1 million of gold. Like, how are you going to move that? How are you going to verify that the place where you're holding that is actually there? Is it paper gold? Do you have a freaking like trunk of gold in your backyard? It's not going to work. So gold as a medium of exchange doesn't work. But the concept of a medium of exchange for Bitcoin does work. It actually does work. That's why it's such an interesting thing when you start to think about it in terms of like how Bitcoin is like gold, but then not like it at all. Because you can literally in seconds send someone $1 million across the world. You don't have to ask permission as long as you have your key and you have the address in the location of another address. You can then deposit that money into that address and bam, you got it. Good luck trying to do that with gold. It ain't happening. So, but the thing is, Wile E. Coyote, the conspiracy theorists would love to say that, yeah, they'll crash the power grid and they'll put us back into the damn Stone Age. It's not part of I don't think that's part of our path, guys. I don't think that's part of the path. I don't think it's part of our destiny that we end up going into another Stone Age of a power grid crash out. Like, it's not we're more likely going to go even more technological, even more fail safes to be able for that to not happen. So you should start thinking more about how everything is going to really start to be more digital, and it's going to get further and further away from an analog perspective of how we do finance. So it's going to get crazier, guys. There's going to be robots walking around. There's going to be AI controlling most things, and the way we transact is going to be different. So we have to keep up with it. We need to keep up with it, and we need to realize that that's the way it's going to be. And all right, so with that being said, guys, I just wanted to get that off my chest, because when I heard CZ say that, I was like, exactly. I was like, yes, CZ, you get it. CZ gets it. CZ's been long-term zoomed out for Bitcoin for a while. And so he understands that, like, it's not like, yes, people trade it. And obviously there's traders and there's order books and there's all this stuff that it moves Bitcoin. But you have to think about the actual application of what Bitcoin can do as a settlement layer, and then also as the network itself. So it's super cool. It's super cool. I just, every time I go to a Bitcoin conference, I get even more bullish on Bitcoin and crypto, and it just makes me excited. I get super excited. So, all right, guys, let me get my screen. Let me share my screen. Okay, I wanted to show you guys the trades, because the trades are popping off right now. I know Bitcoin was retracing a little bit, but we're gonna hopefully, if our connection is solid, we'll be able to show you guys what is happening with the prices. Let's see. Come on. All right, well, it looks like we're back over 98K. Sorry, this computer, guys, is so slow, so just bear with me. I literally can't even have like more than like one tab open, or it'll like crash. That's one thing I need to get. I need to get a new laptop, a new laptop, so I can actually like do this, because man, it's like a nightmare trying to navigate a slow computer. It makes me want to scream. All right, so, but either way, I mean, you guys can see Bitcoin is at $98,000. We saw a little bit of retracement, nothing too crazy, but if you were looking at the 4 hour, we have an ascending wedge, which sometimes can be bad, because we've been trending up momentum wise, going up. And so we were bound to get some retracements off of the all-time high, which is about $104,000. And so we had a really nasty wick also in, let's see what's going on here. Yeah, we also had a really nasty wick. I wish the chart would just hurry up and freaking load. Holy moly. Will it load the Pepe chart? Maybe it'll load the Pepe chart. Come on, man. This is so annoying. I want to look at the damn charts. This is so stupid. I hate slow computers. This is driving me crazy. All right, well, I'll just show you the trades. Here's the trades. The trades that we got in right now, we got Bitcoin, we have Pepe, we have Doge, we have FTM, and we also have the Floki trade. So we've been waiting for this Floki trade to break out, and we're like, yes, baby, because do you know what we did? If you've been watching this show or watching this channel long enough, we freaking sold our XRP trade at a measly $70 in profit, because we were being scared. We're just being honest. We were just like, oh, risk management. And we missed that XRP run. We literally sold it right before it broke out to $2.50. So we missed out on making a good $3,000 on that trade, but instead we chose to like dip the chicken nuggets in the Wendy's fryer instead of you know. Oh yeah. And so we sold that, and then immediately after we went into the Floki trade. And then the Floki trade has been down ever since. So it's been it kind of hurt me a little bit in my soul to see that I could have made 3K, but instead I chose to make 70 and then put in a Floki trade. I was like, come on, Dan. Oh, what are you doing, man? And so, but now we're happy. We think Floki is one of those like it's not, I wouldn't call it a sleeper coin. I wouldn't call it a sleeper coin. It's actually Floki's based off of, if you know the history of Floki, it's based off of Elon Musk's Doge dog that's named Floki. And it's been one of the meme coins that's actually been able to stand the bear market in these fluctuations more so than most. It's got a lot of major listings, exchange listings. It's got some utility to it. I think there's a metaverse. They have a video game. Yeah, they have a lot going on. So I thought to myself, okay, I probably should hedge a little bit into Floki and see what happens. So I think this trade actually might play out and do really well. So we are in profit. And then also I want to explain about the FTM trade. So the FTM trade is really important. Okay. So the FTM was one of those coins that previous cycle in 2021 did some damage. I mean, it did so good. It followed Cardano's move very closely. They were almost at similar prices, very similar market cap, and they kind of were moving in tandem in their prices. So if you notice, Cardano's at that dollar so range. I think it's like at $1.20 or something right now. And then Phantom is sitting at $1.22 right now in the index price. And so everyone's been wondering, what's the next altcoin that's going to blah, blah, blah? What's the next thing that's going to do like XRP? And I think it's Phantom. I think Phantom with the rebranding of also Sonic, because Phantom Labs and Phantom Foundation, they've rebranded to Sonic. So now it's Sonic Labs, and they're going to have an S token, and there's going to be where you can swap like 1-to-1 from Phantom to Sonic, but they're going to keep the Phantom chain running. So they're running both chains simultaneously. And so I think with that, the FTM token could still see a major run up in liquidity. And we'll just have to see how, whenever the Sonic token releases and we see how both of those kind of integrate together, maybe there'll be a liquidity pool or some type of farming that you can do like FTM and S or whatever, or have to go in and do a little bit more research and see if eventually they're just like the FTM token's just going to like go away. So I don't know. So that's one thing that I have to figure out. Still got to dive in a little bit to like what fully entails with them branding to Sonic. But I think here in the short term, we're probably going to see a $3 FTM pretty soon, because it's going to get kind of close, at least very, very close to its previous all-time high. So, and then the next trade we have is Doge. So obviously you guys know why we're in the Doge trade. I think being in a Doge trade right now with the sentiment around the acronym of Doge for the Department of Government Efficiency, I don't think the average person really actually understands the magnitude of what that actually means. So the magnitude of Doge being the mainstream hive mind like thing that people are going to see on CNN or MSNBC or any type of mainstream news, they're talking about the Department of Government Efficiency. And then once Elon and Vivek start actually implementing these things and we see the success of it and we see people talking, wow, Doge has been able to do this. And then people all start to connect the dots and think, oh, wow, Elon is involved. Elon likes Dogecoin. I'm realizing as a normie person that, oh, there's a thing called Doge that I can buy once they start feeling like they need to start picking up the pace with the crypto portfolio. I think that that is going to be one of the prime coins that retail comes back into because of the fact of what I just explained. So it's not like the last cycle is different. I think this cycle, it's so funny. Everyone always said it's different this time, and it ends up being the same. But the difference this time is that there is a difference in institution adoption. There was no institutions like there are now in the crypto space. So if they're max bidding into the space now, then this cycle will be different, because these people are not getting in to then just get right out. They're not crypto degens like we are. They're long-term investment holders. They're big money that goes for the long haul. That's why Michael Saylor is buying billions almost every day. I mean, it's like every week on the Monday, he buys $2.1 billion of Bitcoin. He buys it every week. What does he know? What does he know that we don't know? Nothing, because he's already told us. He's told us what he knows. You buy Bitcoin and you freaking hold it. Excuse my language, but you hold it. And so people make it so complicated. People make it so complicated. It doesn't have to be that damn complicated. I mean, do you get what I'm saying? Do you guys get what I'm saying? Or am I crazy? Am I too jet lagged? No one's giving me the responses I need. I need you guys to be like, yeah. But let's check on the other trades. I can't believe the freaking chart is still not loading. Give me a second, guys. Let me see if I can like refresh the damn tab. I really want to show you the Bitcoin chart so you guys can see it, but it's just not wanting to do it. Do 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 do. Let's see if it works. Let's see if it works. And thank you guys for tuning in. I know this isn't like my normal type of stream, but we are at points, you know, we don't care. We just want to go live and we want to bring you guys the content. And even if it's a little different than what we normally do, it's okay. No big deal. No big deal. But yeah, all right. So now let's go. So I gave you enough explanation of about Phantom, Floki, and Doge. Now Pepe is the one that I am really, really like betting on this time. Reason being is that for a whole year, for an entire year, all your favorite influencers were telling you to sell Pepe. Don't buy it. It's a scam. It's not going to go anywhere. Blah, 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 blah. Buy this trash over here. Look at that trash pile over there. Look at this rug pull over here. And that's what happened to most people. $200 a year ago would have made you now over $200,000. If you would have just held $200 of Pepe for a year, you would have $200,000. Now you tell me if that's a good hold or not. I would say that's a pretty good hold. And so then you see that it's also the 9th highest traded token in all the market. And regardless, if you think it's the real Pepe or not, the big money doesn't give a crap if it's the original Pepe or not. It's just like how people don't care if there's a 3 forks of Bitcoin or Bitcoin Satoshi Vision or Bitcoin Cash. Where's the money going? Follow the money. Follow the money. Don't follow the veered off path of ego and manipulation, because that's all that is just ego and manipulation. And I have a big bag of this, so I'm gonna say that Bitcoin's a scam and blah blah blah, or I have a big bag of this Pepe coin or derivative, so I'm gonna say that the Pepe that is actually getting the traction is a scam. And I think it's stupid. It's like why would you bet on the team that has been doing the least amount of work, or are you going to bet on the team that has done the most amount of work and that is getting the most traction? It's kind of just a basic level of psychology and thought process that you can go into, and it doesn't mean that you don't touch any of the undervalued stuff or whatever it may be. But when it comes to something like this, when I think about Pepe and the different Pepe derivatives and all the different things that try and distract you from something, it's like, I'm not doing it this time. I'm going to just hold the damn thing. I will hold it. I will take profits, but I'm gonna actually hold it this time. Doesn't mean I'm not gonna sell a little bit. I'm not gonna be dumb, but I'm going to actually be smart this time and not listen to anyone. I'm gonna listen to myself. I'm not gonna let these damn CT like goblins, I should call them that, CT goblins, that will ultimately make you lose your money. So I'm not doing it this time. I believe in probably Pepe more than I do any other damn coin on the cryptocurrency space because of the fact of what it's been able to do, how it was just in the background the whole time, just smiling at you. Just like it was there. It was there the whole time. All you had to do was buy Pepe. And that's it. You could have just bought Pepe. Hilarious. Freaking hilarious. But no, instead, we get rugged. We get rugged on all this dumb stuff, all this stupid stuff that people promise all these things. And Pepe doesn't have to promise a damn thing. It's the strongest meme. Easy. That's it. There doesn't have to be a promise. That's what's so funny. And people don't get that. They don't get it. They need to get it, because the moment that they start to get pulled and flopped and groped around by these influencers, whatever you want to call them, KOLs. I don't even like calling myself that, an influencer or KOL. I'm a guy talking about crypto on YouTube, and I have fun doing it. And so that's why I don't want to be referenced as a KOL, Cole. But yeah, guys, I've made so much money recently on Pepe. It's crazy. Like, Pepe is basically supported most of this trip, like straight up from trading Pepe. And I also have a spot bag that I am not touching. Like, I am not touching that. And we're gonna do it right this time. And so, like the title says, we're here for Bitcoin and we're here for Pepe, because Pepe's the reason that I'm here. I mean, I was really trading it up. So, but yeah, the Pepe trade's doing really well. We've scalped a little profits off of this one. We wanted to, it was getting a little hot. We didn't know if the market was going to do a real nasty pullback. So right now, Pepe had broken out of the 4 hour daily bull flag wedge. And I would love to show the chart, but my computer's being a butt, so I can't really show the chart right now. But just so you guys know, Pepe was sitting on a consolidated bull flag wedge. So if you look at that pattern, traditionally, what it does is it breaks up and then it consolidates and starts to break down a little bit. Once it hits a level of support, then you start to get the breakout, which is basically the length of the pole. So you take the length of the pole from the top of the price down to where it broke out, take that, put it at the bottom of where it starts to hit the last support, and then there's your target. So we're actually moving towards that target, which means we're going to get 100% move on Pepe. We probably already cleared at 20%, maybe, probably 30% here recently. And just be prepared for Pepe to keep climbing up the charts. It's the easiest thing to bet on, in my opinion, for me, for my portfolio, because there's not as much baggage on it as what some of these other coins have. So like, I feel like it's just like it's like a blue chip. It's like a blue chip at this point. And so this is why I've been so supportive of Pepe. I've been really super bullish on it because I don't know if it's not that I want to prove a point, but I want to know that the most ironic outcome can be the most fun and the funniest, most comedic outcome is more likely to happen than not. Just like how Dogecoin was originally ultimately a joke. It was just a joke. It was a fork of Litecoin. There's been some, you know, different controversies of like what was first or what was the first, blah, blah, blah. But again, doesn't matter. What is now getting the support? Dogecoin. And so this is where I have to kind of really analyze and look at my portfolio in a different type of way and say, is it better of risk management to go into almost the obvious plays to hold for the next 4 years? Or am I going to gamble on these derivatives that people are trying to get to I feel like siphon money out of you? It's just like how there's Nero, or there's a Nero CTO, or there's this, or there's, you know, whatever it may be. And it's just like, I kind of want to just buy Dogecoin because, to be honest, and to be honest with you, and to be honest with myself, the retail's not going to buy Nero. They're not going to buy, they don't know what that is. They don't know what that is. They know about Dogecoin. And now people that know about the frog, they know, they've seen Pepe, but now they're going to see it on Coinbase. They're going to see it on Robinhood. They're seeing it. They're going to see it everywhere. So in my mind, retail's not looking for the next Pepe derivative or the next Doge. They're going to buy Doge and Pepe. So for me, it's just easy. That's just easy. Easy. You trade the trend. You trade the trend. The trend is your friend to the end, and the trend right now is Pepe. It's Pepe and Doge. Pepe, Doge, Bitcoin, Ethereum. You can literally buy Bitcoin, Doge, Pepe, Ethereum, and you would be totally fine. 100%. I really believe that. You could just buy those things right there and not even gamble with all this other stuff. You really don't have to, but you will. You will, but then ultimately you'll get to a point where you're going to go, wow, I don't have to make it that complicated. I don't have to make it. I really don't have to make it that complicated. Because crypto's a long-term play. It's not a short-term going to zero type of play. It's slivers of wealth from all around the world are going into this asset class. Slivers of the biggest money in the entire world is going into this asset class. So are you going to be in it before all of that happens, or are you going to be chasing the momentum? So you can make the choice now before it's coming down the pipe, like for real, where the whole hope of the cycles and the bear markets and the bull markets and whatever it may be, like the bear markets might, the year, 2-year bear markets might be a thing of the past at like, and coming here pretty soon, where price is going to be not even something that we're like even paying attention to. Like, it's just going to be like, holy crap. There's just going to be so much growth in the space. I don't even know if we're going to be able to handle it. So I guess my point is, you know, you have to really look out, like what do you think is going to be around the next 10 years, the next 15 years, the next 20 years? What will be in the top 10 of crypto in the next 10 years? And you'd hope that you're holding those things. Because if it's in the top 10, that means it's the top 10. Do you want to be a degen? Do you want to be a degenerate and think, okay, if I buy this early thing or whatever it may be, and then it just flatlines? I don't know. We're all probably going to do that, but I think we'd be smarter to look at what Michael Saylor's doing and why he is now at a $40 billion value of Bitcoin. Just craziness. Insane. We're like small time in our thought process on crypto right now because I think it's crypto Twitter's fault. To be honest, I think crypto Twitter and too many people's opinions and all that crap. It's like I feel like it's almost like bad for the space in terms of the sentiment of like actually what is going to happen here. Like so much money is going to come into crypto and you're thinking like 3 months down the line. No. These people have billions and billions of dollars. They're not thinking in like those small-minded short-term price fluctuations. BlackRock is max bidding ETH and Bitcoin because they plan to be in it for the next 50 to 100 years. That's what you have to think about. They're max longing this stuff because they have a 50, 100-year plan. You got like a 3-month plan. These people have 50, 100-year plans, 500-year plans. You don't understand. You're thinking in like 3 months. These people are thinking in 300 years. That's what they're thinking about. You got to think bigger. You have to be more bullish. Be more bullish. Get off of crypto Twitter. You know what will make you bearish? Crypto Twitter. Crypto Twitter. Oh my gosh. Don't get me started. Don't get me started because holy crap, guys. I feel like it's just like crypto Twitter's like a cesspool of freaking just goblin-y, just ugh. Like a trough of throw up. And yes, I did just say trough of throw up. Mike Joey, what the hell is cheeseburger coin? What is you've came in here a few times referencing cheeseburger coin. This is what I'm talking about. This is exactly what I'm talking about. Dang it. All right, we got Wayne Tech in here. What's going on? Yo. If you look, we're going down the portal. We're going in the portal. Oh gosh, I don't know if it's gonna be hard for me to sleep tonight, guys. Man, I'm like my time zone, my time frame, my whatever. I don't know what's going on right now. I don't know what to do with myself. That's crazy though. Crypto is awesome. I was like thinking to myself, what else would I be doing in Dubai or Abu Dhabi across the world if it weren't for crypto? Like being able to take my family with me on this trip and do this and just experience a completely, different culture, area, and gain these experiences, gain the knowledge, and it's just been cool. It's just been cool. It's been really, I think this was probably one of the best moves I've ever made is get into this industry and get into crypto. Because I had,
You know, I'm obviously like audio visual. I do tech stuff. You know, I'm a musician. You know, it's not like I couldn't, you know, stay in that career, keep doing keep doing the thing, work the gigs, maybe get a full-time job doing like, you know, AV tech work, get the hourly pay, blah blah blah. Ugh. Yeah, I could do that. But if I really wanted to change my life, switch something up a little bit, take a chance, take a little bit more of a risk, then I think this was like the best thing that I could have done. And this is just for me personally, it might just be because of how my personality is or how I like process stuff in my brain. I mean, I definitely got like some like ADHD, ADD, ACDC going on. And it's just like this fits. It just fits perfect. Like doing this, talking to you guys, live streaming, talking about crypto, looking at the charts. And there's just so much that can be done in this industry. And I would maybe encourage you to start to think about this industry more than just like, okay, I buy, hold, maybe I can make some money. I think it's way bigger than that. I think it's like there's so much opportunity here for people. There's so much that you could do as an artist, if you're a creator, if you have a business already and you want to start getting into crypto, like you want to start um maybe actually doing what Michael Saylor's doing, and you're like, wait a second, okay, we got a little cash reserves. We got a little cash reserves on the side. What are we going to do with it? Because like I said in the beginning of the video, explaining what the Federal Reserve does is that they print money, and they printed 50 to 60% of the supply of the fiat currency over the past 4 years. 60% of it has been printed in the past like 2 to 3 years. So what do you think the path is of your cash reserves that your business has? Your cash reserves for your business now are now screwed, because if you don't do anything with them, that means that your purchasing power and the value of your company itself goes down. That's freaking crazy. The fact that that's actually a thing, that you could build a company, be profitable, and know that your cash, if you don't do something with it, it's going to go down. So that's what Michael Saylor did. Michael Saylor just said, I got to figure something out. If I don't, my company's going to go bankrupt. It's not going to work, because they were even, and what's crazy is that they were actually profitable. They weren't like a company that was like a shit company. Like MicroStrategy built software for institutions in the 90s, and then going into the 2000s, same thing. But guess what? The whole system got rug pulled, and we all got rug pulled. They bailed the banks out, and then out of that came Bitcoin. Out of that came Bitcoin. Was the system rug pulling us? So Satoshi is like the financial savior of the damn world. Like Satoshi Nakamoto literally, either as a person or an entity, saved us from utter destruction. Like there was nothing else that would have saved us from that. You got to think about it that way. So reprogram your brain. Reprogram it, because the system spends unlimited amount of money. Like I said, they have unlimited, they can just print it. So guess what they do with a lot of that money? Called programming. It's called programming. What do you think a TV program is? Why do you think it's called a program? Here's your here's for your scheduled programming. You've been programmed to be a participant in the system. You've been programmed to be a participant in the system. So until you uninstall that program and then you install the the Bitcoin standard, basically, I think things will change drastically in your life. because they have in mind. Like the moment that I feel like it like cracked in my it cracked in my brain, like it finally clicked. I was like, oh shit, this is like way bigger than just buying a coin. It's not just about buying a coin, like CZ said. It's not just about buying and selling in price. It can Bitcoin at a point will infinitely go up because of the nature of the scarcity of how many Bitcoin are even able to be transacted with. So it's a revolution, guys. It's a complete revolution. And it's, I mean, I've been orange pilled 100%. I know I sound like a damn orange pill crazy person, but I mean, I just see how things have changed so much in my life that I understand money now. I didn't before. I didn't understand money. I did not understand money at all growing up. As a kid, as a teenager, as someone being in my early 20s, I did not get it. I used credit cards all the time. I got myself in debt. I didn't respect money. I didn't realize how much of it is it's just energy. It's not bad and it's not good. It's whatever you imbue into it as what you're going to use it for. Some dummy on freaking Twitter, commented on something. I said, hey, Bitcoin's probably going to be the money. And then someone said, oh, it's too bad that it's just used for drug trafficking and trafficking and crime and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, bro, what is fiat used for? I was like, what? I was like, and then I said one simple comment. I said, I can cut a steak with a knife. I can cut a steak with a knife. I could also hurt someone with it, but I'm not going to. I'm going to cut the steak. Does that mean I don't have knives in my house because I could potentially use it in a bad way? I can't with these people. I can't because their mind, they can't think. They can't process like information. Am I gonna ban my stove because it's hot and I touched it and I burned myself? Or am I gonna use it to cook my food? It's the same thing. Anyone that says that Bitcoin is blah blah blah, or it's just they don't get it. They literally don't get it. It's like saying like, oh, okay, I can't. I think the knife is the perfect example. I can cut a steak with a knife. If you don't get that, I'm sorry. If you don't get it, I'm sorry. I can't explain it to you anymore. I would love to pull up crypto Twitter. Speaking of crypto Twitter, there are some people. I know I'm being kind of harsh with the crypto Twitter community, but I've just been seeing some dumb stuff. I've been like, what are these people smoking? Smoking some good stuff. Smoking that good. Let's see if we can get on old crypto Twitter. Let's get it on here. Dang on, crypto, dang on Twitter, crypto, dang on. It's so funny. I don't know what happened, but all my Google is in Arabic, or all my good now because I'm in Dubai and Abu Dhabi. All my stuff is in Arabic. I'm like, no, Firefox, translate this, please. All right, guys. You want me to keep spitting some jams, or should we end the stream? I don't know. I think I blabbed enough, but it's up to you guys. We can just hang out. We can just hang out together. We can just hang out. I really would love to see a chart though. What is going on? Let me go to CoinMarketCap. Hold on. Let's go. Let's pull up the total crypto market cap. Oh gosh, guys, I'm so full. I ate like a bunch of steak, amazing steak. What was it? It was what was the place called? Swiss butter. Swiss butter. I'll post the pictures of the peeps that we ate with whenever we get done with this stream, because we got a big media dump. We gotta get the pictures posted on X and tag everyone and show you guys what we were up to. But let's get this here, and okay, there we go. Now we can look at some charts. There we go. Look at that, trending coins. We got Pepe trending up 3.8%, so that's looking good. Eyeing that three level, that 3,000 level. We're gonna go 403. That's one of the first target breakout points for Pepe. Let's just bring up Pepe real quick. We'll look the chart. The chart better load. I don't know why my computer just won't give me a chart to look at. I just want a chart. Where's my chart? Okay, all right. So we're gonna look at the, let's see. Let's look at the daily, because the daily should be showing the bull flag. Yeah, it's not showing it as good as I would like it to on here because it's got the lines. Let me get the candles here. Maybe it was on the monthly that we were seeing the more of that. This isn't giving me the data I want. I wish I could pull up my chart because it looks so much better. I've been really charting this thing, and it's the fact that it was able to just in the past month break this resistance right here is so good. Like the fact that we broke this resistance candle right here and just smashed through it right here is good. I think that's really, really good. So on the month, we've been up 153%, but I will remind you guys that on the year, it's been up about 1,574%. And it's probably still got so much more room to grow, because not that long ago, it was just at like a $3 billion market cap, $4 billion market cap, and now it's sitting at a $11.5 billion market cap. People think that that's the top. I think that you, like I said, you got to look at the next 4 to 10 years, not the next 3 months. The total crypto market cap is only at less than $4 trillion. It's only at 3.7 trillion right now. We're sitting at a cup and handle breakout point on the total crypto market cap. If you look at it on the daily or the weekly, we're sitting at some really, really nice levels right now. And so the target is at 7 trillion. So where's that 7 trillion coming from? Well, it's coming from the institutions. It's not coming from retail. Retail doesn't have $7 trillion. It's not a thing. People don't understand that the reason why Bitcoin went up, it wasn't just because of Michael Saylor. It wasn't just because of BlackRock. It wasn't just because nation states are buying it. It wasn't just because of this. It was all of it at the same time. That's what makes Bitcoin go up. It's because it's not just one entity buying. It's a lot of entities buying. And so you have to think about Bitcoin alone being at a $7 trillion market cap. Then altcoins, everything excluding Bitcoin and ETH, because obviously ETH is an altcoin, obviously, but I would consider it more so like Bitcoin, ETH, than everything else, everything else below. So total crypto market cap, excluding Bitcoin and Ethereum, is actually over $1 trillion now. I think it's actually, it's close to, yeah. It's like 1.5 trillion. So you have to think ETH will be at 2 trillion, Bitcoin will be at 7 trillion, and everything, and then memes, just memes alone will be at I think probably like a $2 trillion market cap, because I think Pepe alone could get to $100 billion market cap. So you think that's just one coin, 100 billion. And then you think Doge has gotten close to 100 billion. It got as high as 90 billion Dogecoin on its peak, 73 cents. And then you have to think about Doge being like a hundreds of billions of dollar valuation of market cap because of the reasons what I explained before, with the Elon Musk factor, the Doge Department of Government Efficiency factor, the hive mind viewage on the acronym Doge, and then people connecting the dots. There's gonna be so much money that goes into crypto. Think longer than just 3 months. Think a lot longer than just 3 months. You need to be writing down your 10-year plan right now. All right. Bitcoin is sitting at 97.4. So 97.4. So the past 2 hours, I mean, the past hour, it's just gone down just a little bit. But in the past 24 hours on the day, just 2%, ETH at 3,800. So I think, guys, ETH too. ETH, not everyone, but there's a lot of people that are going, I'm swapping my ETH for Sol. I'm swapping my Sol for Sui, or I'm doing this. And it's like, okay, you could do that. You could hold both. I mean, if you wanted to, just so you could, have a little hedge, you could say like, because people do it because they're like, well, Sui could obviously outperform Sol, right? But what if Sol goes to 1,500 instead of 1,000, and then Sui caps out at a certain point, and then you're like, crap. So you kind of have to take that into consideration. But what I'm thinking of taking into consideration is that I'm not going to swap all my ETH for Sol. I'm going to keep my ETH. And I'm going to know that institutions, even though they do kind of understand Solana or XRP or whatever, but they don't really. They are going to understand Ethereum next, because they've just gotten the tip on Bitcoin. They're now starting to realize what it is and that they need some. And then what do you think is going to be the next thing that people go into? What's the next thing that the institutions are going to adopt? It's going to be Ethereum for smart contract deployment for traditional finance mechanisms. Traditional finance is still bogged down by old systems. And so once BlackRock, just so you know, has a layer 2 on Ethereum called Build, which they use to tokenize real world assets and tokenize securities and certain stocks. And this is going to add trillions of dollars into the crypto space. So what are they going to use as the programming language? We talked to Da Vinci today. I explained it to him too, and he was saying, yeah, like Ethereum has what's the programming language for Ethereum? It's I can't remember it. Solidity? Is it Solidity? Okay, so yeah, Ethereum has Solidity as the base programming language. I think. If that's not the right one, it's irrelevant. But the point of it is that the ETH resources and the ecosystem and the developers and all of that stuff, they're going to use that. They're still going to use that because it's easier. It's easier to adopt into it, even though the transaction fees are high and all that stuff and blah, blah, blah. The institutions don't care about that. They don't care. They go, okay, I can set up a whole smart contract deployment, blah, 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 whatever it may be, for anything that I want to do in my company. They can do it on ETH. and they have the full backing of the ETH developer ecosystem to be able to do so. Now, and it's easier to go omni-chain, multi-chain, and move your project from ETH to a layer 2 or whatever it may be. When it comes to these other ones, it's not so easy. As a developer, from what I've heard, it's not easy. It's not just like, oh yeah, let's just like bridge over or whatever. Sometimes it's a lot harder. So, and if you go really deep into an ecosystem and then you start developing, you start doing all this, it's like, then you don't have the option to be able, all right, I'm going to use this one. I think that's why a lot of people end up going on ETH, because they understand this, and then they can easily go from ETH to said whatever, wherever they want to go. And so this is why I'm still gonna, like I told you guys, I took a lot of my profits that I made over the past couple of weeks and I just bought a whole ETH. I was like, I'm just gonna buy a whole ETH. I bought one at $3,100 average, and I expect that ETH to be valued at about $15,000 sooner than later. And so I'm ready for the bucket of water. I call it the bucket of water liquidity going in. It starts flowing in, and then it was flowing into Bitcoin, and now it's going to start emptying out because the water's still going to keep going into Bitcoin. It's like going. They turn the fire hose on into the bucket, so the water's going, and then the water is going to go into the next bucket. What's the next bucket? It's ETH. It's ETH. So. And then Scuba Gerbil says XYO doesn't care what BTC is doing, pumping hard out of the 4-hour flag. Yeah. So guys, and this is the thing with XYO. Woo, man. They got a major partnership that they are probably going to actually, like, Tesla official is going to be talking about it probably pretty soon, but they got a partnership with Cybertruck and Tesla. XYO does, because XYO is a data geo mining oracle. So it is a decentralized infrastructure, physical infrastructure network that is bridging off-chain data into on-chain, and you can operate nodes inside of this thing. And so what it is that Tesla is going to, what the hell is this? I clicked on XYO. What is, oh my God. Baby Shiro Nico? Of course, there's already a Baby Shiro Nico. Yeah, by the way, guys, if you don't know what the trend is when a coin releases, just watch out for the next one being the baby version of it. All right, yeah, so the node that you can operate, you'll be able to operate it inside your Tesla. So your Tesla is going to be driving around and mining XYO while you're doing it. So that's freaking huge, guys. So maybe the reason why this thing is starting to really, really pump. Oh, it's back at 3 cents. What was it? It was, yeah, it pumped up to almost 4 cents. Oh, wait, no, it did get to 4 cents. Wait a second, because this was just, unless I'm just not, yeah, it did get, yeah. It got right at 4 cents, and then we had a nice little retracement. I mean, it went up pretty fast. But yeah, let's see. What's the, yeah, it went up. Yep, 4 cents. But the peak of this coin was at 8 cents from last cycle. But what was happening? ETH was pumping. ETH was at all-time highs. And so I think that XYO, and I've told you guys this before, I think when ETH breaks all-time high and starts running, things like XYO are going to freaking rip. And so with the combination of the bullish partnership that is developing with Tesla, and we have some stuff to kind of prove that that's actually happening, because there's a person who works for XYO, and he's been like actively posting on Twitter, talking about the things that they're developing and how, like, he's showing it inside the Cybertruck that he's mining XYO. And I think they're going to do potentially now a full deployment, and it'll probably be in every single, imagine XYO being a operating node in every single Tesla. That's freaking huge. So the market cap of this being at 463 mil is like I'm thinking this thing is gonna really, really start to, and this is like, whoa, 35% added on the market cap. Volume has gone up 560%. The trading volume on this thing is insane. It's been going really, really nice. Yeah, but like this. Oh, and another thing, why this coin might be pumping is because we've suspected that they have been in talks with Binance. Marcus, whoever the CEO or co-CEO, co-founder of XYO, was at this conference and was talking to the new Binance CEO. And he was like, we've been blah, 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 talking, doing this, blah, blah, blah. And so I think pretty soon you're going to see a Binance listing for XYO, and maybe that's why it's pumping so much. So maybe they're buying a big old bag of it, so then when they're ready to launch it, they're accumulating. So I'm looking at like Tesla and Binance as like huge like catalysts for XYO to just go parabolic. So from here right now though, the 3 cent mark, and then going back up to all-time highs, that's a 200-300% move to the upside. If we were to go, yeah, just close to it. So even right now, just kind of like DCAing into XYO, and you can also mine it too. You can mine it using the coin app, and yeah, I think I've followed this coin for forever. It's one of those coins that have had different amounts and different points, and you know, I end up always going back to this coin and thinking, dang, I should have just been buying this thing the whole time. I should have just been buying this sucker like there's no tomorrow. But I don't think it's too late, because if you, like I said, if you believe in the long-term vision of crypto, these market caps are like bearish. These are bearish prices compared to what is actually the capability and the actual like value of what this market should be. Then this is nothing. This is like nothing. You got to think things like this, actual use case, real world use case with this technology is valued at billions of dollars. So, because one company on the S&P 500 being Microsoft or whatever it may be, is at a $3 trillion market cap, which is the value of what we're at right now as a whole. So we got a lot more to go. We got a lot more to go. But guys, thanks for tuning in. Thank you for tuning in. You guys are awesome. You're always super supportive, and I really, really appreciate every single one of you. I think we've blabbed enough. I don't know. I had to get it off my chest. I had to say it with your chest. But now I think it's tea time. I think it's bedtime and tea time. What do you guys think? If you're watching in America, it is not bedtime. It is actually like, I don't know, what time is it? What time is it on the East Coast? What time is it on the East Coast? Are you guys alive?
I have some bad news for...
All right, we got Carl saying there's a little bit of bad news for Bitcoin. Let's see what he has to say.
Bitcoin, we did see stocks go down a bit today, and that, of course, has right now pushed Bitcoin down. And the bad news could be that there is a potential scenario where Bitcoin actually does get a bigger correction from here, and that could punish the altcoins quite dramatically. So let me show you exactly what's happening. You have this beautiful horizontal triangle. We broke out of it. As you can see here, we broke out to the upside, and then we came back down again, actually wicked below, and now we're back above it again. Now, as you can see, this line here is going to be very important. Also, this line here is going to be very important. We are now basically retesting that previous resistance as new support. And that could be very bullish, because if we, of course, confirm support, we could go much higher from here. Now, the bad news would be if we break these two yellow lines, because if we do, then there is not much support for us. The first big support Bitcoin can see would be, of course, down here at 91.6. That would be the line that Bitcoin would have to basically bounce off of to save the bull market right now. Obviously, if we do go down now, it's only temporary. We do know that Bitcoin will pump more over the next 6 months. That's just an obvious fact according to the cycle theory. That said, though, when we do see a bull market, we usually do see also corrections. So let me talk more about that right now. And don't forget to sign up.
Thank you, Carl. Thank you, Carl, for coming on. But yeah, no, Carl's right. So that candle, that wick, that nasty wick, it was that Darth Maul candle. It was like this in one day, we went from 103,000 and then went all the way to 91 and then pumped right all the way back up. So it was a wicked candle, guys. So if you survived that candle and your trades did not get liquidated, you're an absolute legend, because that knocked some people down hard, because people were getting bullish, super bullish. They're putting in altcoin trades. They're high leved. They're like 20x leverage. And that candle came and oh my God, they got smacked, got absolutely destroyed. I mean, my trades got scarily close to some levels where I was like, but the thing is that we can't take it off the table, like Carl said, it going back to that previous support level, because that's the closest support we have from where we're breaking out. The only other support would be below that candle, which would be at where the gap is in the CME gap. The CME futures chart creates gaps when orders are not filled. So when the orders are not filled on these CME gaps in that chart, which means institutional money Monday through Friday, they can't trade on the weekends. So what ends up happening is that these orders don't get filled, and then when it goes into the weekend, it stops, and then it creates a gap. The price starts to rally up. That order does not get filled, but if it does fill, then that's where we're going to get that bearish, the bearish price downturn. But I kind of weigh more on the side that we're going to kind of go sideways a little bit. We're going to squeeze. If we were looking at something called the Bollinger Bands, the Bollinger Bands reveal squeezing. So like the Bollinger Bands represent a top band, a bottom band, and then the middle RSI line is a moving average. So it gives you a 20-day EMA moving average in the middle. When price starts to go above that 20 SMA, and then starts to ride up into the top of the band, then we're in bullish momentum. If it starts to break down past that 20 SMA and it starts to look like it's broadening, then we could see a move to the downside. If we see a squeeze where it gets real tight and the bands start to squeeze like this, then that's like a rubber band getting tension to then pop, because every time that Bitcoin recently now in this momentum has squeezed and kind of starts to get tight, it goes boom and it starts to go. So I suggest you look at Bitcoin on the daily and the 4-hour chart with having the Bollinger Bands indicator on your chart. That might be all the indicator you need is the Bollinger Bands and the RSI and the MACD. So you combine those and you'll be able to see kind of what's happening, especially on the daily chart too. So I recommend you guys do that. But yeah, I'm kind of more on the side that we kind of just go sideways. We kind of just go sideways a little bit, and that's fine. I mean, I'm totally cool with that because it gives us a little bit more time to get some entries maybe on these altcoins. I mean, look, Solana, Solana, if I show you guys right now, Solana it has been going down. I mean, you got to think Solana. Everyone's like, and it's funny that Solana went down because apparently everyone's swapping their ETH for Sol. So shouldn't it be like rallying right now? If people are swapping their ETH for Sol, I don't think people are putting their money where their mouth is. They're just posting shit. They're just like, yeah, I'm going to swap my ETH for Sol. And it's like, okay, well, did you actually do it? Because the price ain't showing it. There's all these people swapping their ETH for Sol. Where's the price? Because it's going down. So yeah, 222 right now on ETH. So ETH actually might be sweet long. ETH right now is Solana is actually sweet long. Yeah, might actually be a good entry point on Sol. As you think for the past 7 days, actually on the daily it's gone down 5.5%, and then on the 7-day it's just been kind of flat. It's just been kind of flat, you know, just kind of trading sideways to blah blah blah. And look at right here. You can see that it's looking like it wants to eye this last support level. This is support, 217 support. If you're looking at any level that Solana could be bouncing off of right now, would be that 220, 223. It's already sitting at that 223, 222 support, which brought it up back to 233. Then we have this support right here, 219 to 217. That eventually brought us up to 240, 237. And if we look on the monthly, you can see head and shoulders pattern right here. You can see the shoulder. You see the head. And then you can see, look, how that played out perfectly on the monthly, a head and shoulders pattern that brought us into that 216 level. And now you can see that it's kind of forming that it's forming it. If you were to look at it right there, then that would be basically on the candles a descending wedge, and then we would just have to hit a nice support to break out of that. So yeah, Sol actually is looking pretty decent. Sol is looking pretty decent. If you're looking for some entries and you were like, man, I really wanted to get some Sol, but it's like 250 or almost getting close to breaking all-time highs. Which if we're looking at Sol for all-time highs, it was at 263. So we were really close. Super close of breaking all-time highs. We got to 257 and then hit some resistance. So if you're wondering why Solana is going down, we got very close. And remember from the last cycle, once it hit 263, then we saw the bear market. So, and also it got kind of rugged. It got kind of rugged by FTX. They were heavily leveraged with FTX. So when FTX did a kapootie, Solana did a kapootie as well. But then they gained their confidence back, and people gained confidence back in Sol, and now we see where it's at. It's actually if you think about it, it's pretty amazing that Solana was able to have such a big comeback, and you know, they definitely been pushing it. You know, they've been pushing the adoption of people trying, you know, using Solana, even though if you don't agree with how they've done it with the meme coins and, you know, pump fund and you know, I still think that Sol was took a big risk with trying to do a phone, trying to do a phone, 2 different phones, and then the second phone, or is it the first phone that they did was, or the second phone had crypto loaded on it. So think about how revolutionary that is, that they released a crypto themed phone that was loaded with coins. Amazing. So there's probably going to be more things like that of like a, you know, physical stuff that ends up having tokens on it. And the people that actually bought that phone pre-ordered it, they had that crypto, and one of the cryptos were obviously Solana, and one of them was Bonk. They loaded the phones with Bonk on it, and if you were to have held the Bonk that was loaded on that phone, oh my God, it would have paid for the phone, and then another 10, and then another 10, 15x. Insane. So it's pretty cool what Solana is doing. They're kind of like a throw things at the wall or break stuff and see what happens, and then you know, some people don't agree, but at the same time, it's like, do you take the Cardano approach where you really make sure that stuff is the way it's supposed to run and make sure that the blockchain doesn't go down, or do you go full degen mode like Solana did? It kind of worked for them. Even though they've gone down, the network has gone down a few times, it still didn't stop people from buying Solana. So it kind of shows the strength of that. I've been kind of fascinated by it. All right, guys. I think I've streamed now for long enough. An hour and a half. Yep. I didn't think I was going to stream for that long, but I started talking, as my wife would say. You started talking, and then it's over at that point. Thank God I have a YouTube channel. I have some type of way to get this out, or I'd freaking go insane. Or my wife's ears would bleed by me ear beating her about crypto 24/7. But I will not feel bad or regret doing that, ear beating my wife, because now she has a portfolio. She is a ETH, BTC, and Doge holder. So everyone give my wife a round of applause for being super bullish and diving into this thing along with me. So all right. With that being said, guys, thank you so much for tuning into this little update. And we are going to do our best to document all the stuff tomorrow. We have some videos that we shot today, not as much as we wanted to. It was a little tough to figure out like how we wanted to do stuff today, but I think tomorrow we'll have a better plan. We will go live probably at the conference. We will also be going live on the Moon Show, so check out for that. Keep your notifications on, bell on, all, click bell, all, and that will get you updated immediately when I go live or whenever I release a video. And yeah, and then right after we're done with this video, we're going to media dump. We're going to dump all of our pictures onto X. So if you want to get a little update on those things and leave some comments, leave some love. We'd love to hear from you guys. And yeah, we just appreciate you. We appreciate you coming in. All right, well, Habibi.